Hi everybody, just going live now. I've got a little video to show you while we wait for our dear friend and today's star on our checking in from Punta Mita, John O'Sullivan. Come to you.
Hi, Carl.
Hi John.
How are you?
How are you? Welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you here with me today. I'm here from Punta Mita. Let me introduce everybody to my dear friend, John O'Sullivan, the Irish, as they call him, a graduate from Shannon College of Hospitality Management some many, many years ago. He's been with Four Seasons for 20 years, I believe.
25, please.
25. There you go, mate. A true legend and one of the most colorful and creative hoteliers that I've had the pleasure of knowing. So, mate, it's great to be with you. I know you're at home. You okay? You're with the family? Everybody okay?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a little bit of a trauma this morning, Carla, where I had to both wash the dishes and dry them. But it's all fine now, and I'm feeling really good, and I'll probably do some therapy later. But for now, I'm great. Thank you.
That's tough. I actually broomed. I did some brooming the other day, which was I hadn't touched a broom for a long time, mate.
I thought you said grooming, personal grooming, and I do empathize with your personal hygiene problems.
John, well, good to be with you here. We're showing some photos of the beautiful Four Seasons in the background there, the top part of the screen. So the people that are watching and checking into us, I see we have friends from all over the place joining us today for this chat. And I wanted to ask you a few questions. What's happening at the Four Seasons Punta Mita? I was personally so moved by the way you've treated all your staff. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, John?
Yeah, for us, is the fact is our most important people are our staff. That's all we are, people with bricks and mortar and dreams. So we've made sure is that we pay all our staff until the end of May. We fully 100%, and we expect to open next month. We're just trying to define now when that is going to be. We do daily communications. As you know, the golf is still totally open. We do weekly videos, departmental chats. Really what it's about in this time of uncertainty is the certainty of communication with those who are essentially your family. And that's what we do. They are our family. And so we're delighted to be in a situation of where, the dream will continue once the uncertainty ceases.
Definitely. I couldn't agree with you. And I congratulate yourself and your team for that. And also for what you're doing. I see you're very active with the cooking classes, the yoga, cocktail classes. You've got a good team of creative individuals there that are communicating with their followers and their fans, conscious of the fact that people cannot be with us today, but we will be here when they can.
Yeah, and I think really what it does is it separates those people who see people who we do business with as business, as opposed to the people who we do business with are our friends. And
Right.
like any form of friendship transcends the less great times and the great times. And I think that yesterday we did 3 sessions of cocktail making, ceviche, and then another cocktail making. And I think we've had more than 280 of our top clients and partners who have sort of attended these 30-minute sessions. Unfortunately, our director of sales, Terence, I think has got sclerosis of the liver because of it. But that's life. That's the cost of doing business.
You're right. And it's in these. I think Winston Churchill or somebody said it's the time of crisis when there's opportunities, so where we can all get out there. I'm actually going to do a cooking class and do a aguachile in about an hour. So I'm, sharpening the knives like I never have before. And hey, that's what we got to do, mate.
It's so interesting you say that, Carl. I spend a huge amount of my time as, just coaching and mentoring people as in life. And my question to everyone is, when we look back in years to come at the coronavirus period, do we look back in it as our legacy as being, we put on 20 pounds, or we were a victim? Or is this the time we actually have to look at saying, okay, we need to help other people who are less well off than us, but it is a total opportunity to reinvent the dream. We are being given a blank canvas to be able to go back and say, how can we totally reinvent ourselves? And how can we become nimble and pivot in the different business areas of life that we really need to do? So it's a sad time, but out of, from the ashes, a new phoenix will truly grow. And I think what Punta Mita is doing as a brand, and what you're doing, and what we're all trying to do together, is very much give each other solidarity, support, and know that when we come out of it, the sanctuary and the dream of Punta Mita will continue with our warriors.
I couldn't agree with you more, and it almost brings a tear to my eye, to tell you the truth. Irish, you have a way with words that makes me want to cry, I would say, but it's so true. It is true, and that's what this moment is about, And we've got time to reflect and time to create, and get ready for a new way of doing business as well. Tell me, what are your thoughts on? I see the Four Seasons is always been a front runner in luxury. In what do we think? What do you think that could be things that might change, in our industry? It's very much a human touch, we used to say. But I think now we might be not touching as much.
It's so interesting. So when you think of Four Seasons as a brand, you think of ongoing 15 minutes by the pool, you're getting a complimentary spritzer, you're getting your glasses done, whatever. It is a period of reinvention, and I think it's going to be a redefining of the interface between technology and people contact. I think you will have people who will, and it's been moving towards this, who love the idea of luxury, but just don't want to have a huge amount of people interface. I think you're going to get absolutely. I think you'll have an opportunity of where people will want to come and stay in properties and will not have that level of contact that was there before, but by choice. I think we have to do in relation to ensuring from a PPE point of view, social distancing, the whole future of buffets, how we clean rooms, how we ensure that level of connectivity is what the guest wants, while still adhering with the sort of elevated expectations that people have. In other words, what we're going to be doing is changing, but always giving the choice to the guest so they can interact as much as they like. But we have to make sure is that we protect them and we protect our warriors.
Exactly, and and that's going to be, I think, the challenge in our industry coming out of this. And like the Mexicans themselves are such embracing people as well. We're going to have to be. There's going to be a lot of coaching, a lot of training. But as you say, let the client, which we've always done anyway, let the client decide and determine what level of connectivity or interactions that there could be going on. Another question I have for you there, Irish. Can we expect any? Have you made this time that the Four Seasons Punta Mita has been closed, obviously, for business? You've done any works and stuff? I know a lot of hotels have done that, made the most of the time to. What do you got happening?
We are blessed with phenomenal, visionary, long-term holding owners. And one of the projects that we had that I've been a chicken to do for the last 8 years, and that is redo the entire pool area. So we are redoing the whole pool because it takes 2 months to do. And so we started that about 4 weeks ago, and we'll be finished by the end of May. We've accelerated the completion of all the rooms within the resort, so it's totally brand new. So essentially you have almost like a brand new resort, doing lots of maintenance, lots of all the stuff that everyone else does, and just really trying to push forward. So when people come there, they've got new Dos Catrinas, new container, new rooms, and working on amazing projects literally over the next 5 years. So we have a whole 5-year program for all the things we're going to do. And, you know, on top of that, which, you know, I spoke with you about, we're in the advanced stages of creating a new resort at Las Solanas, which is a piece of land just behind the image behind you, 48 acres. And we're going to do our own interpretation, essentially, of a tented camp. So it's almost combining a tented camp of Chiang Rai in Thailand with an Aman resort in Asia, making it totally eco-friendly, making it totally environmentally sustainable, and very, very much in the spirit of Four Seasons, but in a new footprint of that. Profoundly excited, and we'll be opening that next year.
Well, that's fantastic news, and thank you for sharing that here. We're sharing it with all our Punta Mita fans and our Four Seasons Punta Mita fans, who I'm sure will be thrilled to hear what you've just said. And I think it's making the most of what has been a downtime. Obviously, you've been able to give people work, construction business, people essential,
Totally.
you know, and that's what Punta Mita's been doing, because in Mexico, they have been permitted to work and labor. So it's helping the economy as well here locally. I'm sure you're aware of a initiative we've done here in town. We're giving out the food baskets every week. And today, I believe the team, we're in the process, probably about 800 family food baskets today, John. So that's a great initiative. And it's the work of everybody. So that's fantastic news. New pool, everything renovated. So when you do open up mid-June, when you actually put a date on that, I think it's great. The world will be happy that Punta Mita will have a nice refreshed look as well.
Yeah, but that's the, you know, to your point, Carl, is that, you know, after almost 9 years in Punta Mita, you know, and I know I'm biased. Forgive me in advance, but you know, the people who are there, the villa owners, people who are part of the Punta Mita community, they transcend all the good times and the less good times. And I think the commitment and the visionary commitment of Dine and the other brands that are associated with it is that we will weather whatever happens, and we will come stronger. And I even think and also, you know, this is not a mutual admiration society, but I do love you. What you do, what you do, and you know, what Alfredo and the rest of the Dine team are doing with all the different brands, the St. Regis, you know, Four Seasons, to be able to work together, not in competitiveness with each other, but with a like-minded dream of positioning Punta Mita as the #1 luxury destination within Mexico, and continuing to be one of the top within the world. And, you know, that's a journey. It's not a destination. And like in any relationship, there are ups and downs. The secret is you stick through all of them and you work together. And so, you know, when people say to me, what are you nostalgic about? I'm nostalgic for the future. I'm nostalgic for how great we are going to come out of this. And we have the opportunity and the ability to reinvent with relevance, and while still harnessing the most important thing that we have, Mexican warriors. And without them, you know, we're bricks and mortar. You know, it's the same architects, it's the same interior designers doing the stuff all over the world. What separates us in Punta Mita and in Mexico are the fact is the, you know, the like-minded spirit of all our Mexican families. And, you know, you talk about supporting, we are doing very similar things for our families of Punta Mita and in their local communities for less well-off people. And it's that drive to be able to support and help those less fortunate than us. That's what we should be doing.
I couldn't agree with you more, Irish. You hit it on the button, mate. Tell me, you're a nomad. You've been all over the world. you've lived in probably as many countries or more than I have, because I'm a little bit younger than you are, obviously.
Of course you are.
Um,
In your mind.
it looks like you're settling down in Mexico. You've been here for 8 years. What's the
Yeah.
story, mate? Tell us more.
The problem is, the fact is, you know, Mexicans are just Irish people with a better suntan. And I swear to God, and I've been to 97 countries. I've lived in 7. I've lived all over the world. I've never felt like, look at these warriors. I've never felt more at home, more relevant, more wanted. And at times, Carl, I know this will come as a major surprise, occasionally a little bit more hungover than I've been in, you know, anywhere else. It's the people, it's the culture, and there's a huge amount of, honestly, you know, and I won't bore people, but a huge amount of similarities between the Mexican culture and the Irish culture, from a family point of view, from a support, work hard, play hard, you know, always looking for the fun in things. And I have never worked, and I've been a general manager now for 33 years, all over the world. I've never worked with people who want to do and want to be part of a dream. And when you convince them that it's for real and you're for real, then they just want to be in a situation of where they want to be part of that dream. And you know, you made a comment earlier, which is really something that I'm going to have to work on. Is I'm a hugger, as are all the Mexicans. So we're just going to have to, you know, figure, maybe we develop a mask hug or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll come up with something. I know you will, and if not, I will as well. But it's true, and yeah, you certainly are one of the most colourful hoteliers that I've had the pleasure of knowing. And you're right what you mentioned there, John. This is a unique destination. We have the privilege to have world-class brands, a world-class developer in Dine, who can take any storm that comes along in the right spirit and always positive. And this is a very privileged destination that I'm sure, thanks to the players that are involved, will be ready and waiting and embracing in one way or the other the people when they can get out of can travel again and the frontiers open. And in the meantime, what we can do is communicate, be with each other. I feel like I'm with you at the moment. Although I can't touch you or hug you, this is technology.
For legal reasons, Carl, as well, as we know.
But this is today, and so I think our industry will need to embrace technology and how that we're going to use that in one way or another. Even to be in a luxurious, paradisic environment like Punta Mita, no? So I'm sure the world will be a different one, and we'll be there to embrace it.
Absolutely. I've got some of my people actually also doing a spell check for the word paradisic, but I'd like to say that on this day, it's beautiful, man. And this day is a really special day as well, because for those of you who may not know, one of the leading warriors of Punta Mita, Jerry Corcoran, is 65 years young today.
Wow,
happy birthday, Jerry.
Up in Chicago there. Great guy, good fan, a better golfer than you are, I believe. And not hard.
But on that, Carl, I've also sent that website and that app that you were talking about, you know, counting by numbers in golf, and it's beautiful because it's a very logical sequence and it doesn't skip them. And I think that if you were to apply that to your golf game, it would be really special.
Tell me, John, talking about golf, one of our passions, a favorite golf course outside of Punta Mita. Give me one or two.
I would say Spyglass in the Monterey Peninsula. I would have to say I'm a life member in Lahinch on the west coast of Ireland.
Nice.
And any, you know, there's up on the whole west coast of Ireland. I grew up in Sligo, and there's 3 golf courses there: Ross's Point, Inniscrone, and Strand Hill, that a lot of people won't know, that are over 100 years old. But when people go up the Atlantic Way and sort of go away from just the southwest, they're some of the most amazing in the world. But Spyglass to me, again, has just got that level. And I love all the really, special, iconic courses, but there's something latently spiritual with the golf gods in Spyglass.
Fantastic. Tell me, apart from a poet, you're also an artist. What have you been doing? Any painting during this time of this COVID-19 break, mate?
Yeah, I have been doing a little bit, but writing quite a bit, to be honest, and just trying to get the voices in the head out of the head and onto paper. And just, it's so interesting because of so many like you and myself and a lot of people who are watching. The canvas of life is the joy of being able to travel. And what I've done, and I don't know, and lots of other people said they've done the same. Quite often, because I live on the ocean here in Marina Vallarta, at nighttime, I just drill into the memories of the places I've been to. And the danger in our fast-paced life normally is we're a collector of memories rather than the living of memories. And I've been living an awful lot of, I would call, sunset memories of where I think of literally all over the world. And then you think of someone who you haven't spoken to in so long, then you contact them, and within 2 minutes they're there, and it's just that joy of the simplicity. It's almost like the timelessness of memories, and the way that they are truly the currency of exchange that we have in times like this. We dine out on them, and I think also we think about what's going to be the runway for the future. Where's the first place we're going to go to? And I think that, to your point earlier, I think a lot of people feel an awful lot of confidence in Mexico. And whether it is they go to Cabo, whether it is they go to Riviera Maya or Riviera Nayarit, preferably, it's that joy of being able to see the smell, the sounds, the ability, the sight of just all those sensorial overlays that just make our life just such a rich tapestry of memories and future hope.
Yeah, it's very, very well put yet again, my dear friend. I could just sit here and listen to you all day, and I think you make so many valid points, and a lot of the people that have been tuning in and out of us, hopefully all tuning in and staying in, would have made some really nice comments there. I saw some of our luxury travel agents have popped in, and they were impressed by the news, breaking news of the luxury tents up there on the side of the hill near the Four Seasons, the pool. These are all amazing, great news for everybody to hear today. But I think the most important news is what you've just put there. It's just a time for reflection, a time for readiness, a time to pivot as we move forward. Pivot, that's you just move like a nimpy fly half that you might have been when you were playing rugby so many years ago, and you had this Australian back rower coming in to tackle you. I could see the Irishman pivoting off the sidestep of his left foot and miss, that the Aussie dive into nowhere. So
listen, but speaking of that, I still owe you $50 for the.
You do, by the way, and that game never took place. Who would have thought that, John O'Sullivan, when we were having brunch at Dos Catrinas a few months ago, and we had a bet on a game, and we would never have thought this was all going to happen. But hey, what we can do is look back, mate, and we're now over 20 odd minutes, and I think that was the time we set for this checking in with John O'Sullivan. So I'd like to thank you, John. Give my love to the family, all the Four Seasons employees who we love, and be good, be safe, stay at home. And when this all happens, we'll be out here with a bang. I promise you, mate.
Absolutely. And just to everyone, the best, honestly, the best is yet to come, because we have the opportunity to be the co-architects of that with Fate. And it's a positive fate, and it's a new one. And I think that I'm excited on behalf of everyone. And I think, that I can't wait to just be able to be out there and be with people and be able to continue to share the dream. Because remember, dreaming is a journey. It's not a destination, Carl.
Got you, brother. Take care.
God bless you. With love. God bless you.